Okay, so the last thing that we need to look at is a thing called an input mask. Now, this basically provides a kind of format for the user to input, similar to what we did with the validation rule, where we had those question marks saying that that has to have, a certain amount of characters. Okay, and we can't finish it without having those characters in there. So we can do a format mask is as well as or instead of the validation rule. The only thing with the input mask, we don't get a nice error message like you do with the validation rule. So there are lots of different options that you can have for an input mask. Now, again, I'm not going to lie, I cheated. I had a look and I just did a little bit of a Google and I've come up with a cheat sheet. So I will put that on Word. What I'll do is I'll nick his web address from Steve Chase Docs, and I'll put that at the bottom of this document. Okay, and I might put the other bits in there as well. So there you go, complete um, transparency there to say this is not my own work. Okay, so you can see here we've got some different characters that we can put. So if we put a 0 in there, then the user has got to put in a digit. Um, I'm not sure what the optional digit is, to be fair, but yeah, we are putting digits in there. If we put a hash, you can enter a digit, a space, a plus, or a minus sign. So that might be useful, but if we can add a space into a telephone number, that means that we can put an incorrect telephone number in there. So if all we want is digits, then we need to be looking at zeros. Okay. Obviously, you've got an L there for a letter, question mark for an optional letter. Again, I don't know what the difference is between letter and optional, but hey, let's not concern ourselves. So you can see user has to enter a letter or a digit for a capital a lowercase a. User can enter a letter or a digit. Okay, can or has to. You can see there's a difference. So you've got a space there, either a character or a space as an and. Now, to be honest, a lot of these we're not really going to concern ourselves with. What we need to concern ourselves is things like digits or letters. Yeah, so hash for digit, space, plus, minus sign, L for letter, capital A for letter or a digit. Okay, so they're the kind of things that we need to concern ourselves with. I'll put this on Moodle, and you can access that as well. So let's have a look then. So if we put that in there, so again, if we put zeros in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 digits. Okay, so if we now save that, when we click into our telephone, you can see that we've got underlines there, which are showing what things are meant to be. So again, we can't put our plus in there. If I try and put a plus in there, it's not working. So I've got 13 digits. So if I was to put in my telephone number 01 493 662234, it's not going to let me come out. It's going to say that the value isn't appropriate. And again, see, this isn't a very helpful error message. So some ways it might be nicer to do a have a validation, okay, in the form in the uh, oh, I've forgotten what it's name. Give me a second. I've got had a mental moment. The validation rule. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, so we can only put numbers within there, and it will not allow us to put anything else in there. So I can't put text in there, I can't put letters. All I can do is put numbers within that. And if I don't fill all of the numbers, it won't let me continue. It will ask me, and I say it doesn't give me that helpful error message. Okay, so we could allow, so say this first one, um, we could say needs to be a so characters within double quotes will be displayed literally. So if we want to put a plus in there, so let's do that. So start again. I can't remember if I deleted or not. So we'll put double quotes. We'll put a plus, double quotes, then 0, 0. So we've got that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, as I did that, you can notice it's got the plus there. Okay, so if I now put 44 1 4 9 3 6 6 2 2 3 4, that will now accept that number. Okay, so it won't allow me to miss a digit off. Yeah, it won't allow me to put in some text. Okay, it will only allow me to put in numbers, and at the front it forced a plus on the front there. So that's a way of getting our plus. And obviously now we've solved that, because not every country, we might have someone whose telephone number isn't a UK telephone number. Okay, we might have to have a international number, so it might be an American number. Yeah, not sure what American numbers are, but there you go. That's now allowed for that. And I'm not sure if American numbers are longer than 11 digits as well. So um, something that we're not going to go down and concern ourselves with. So that is what is called an input mask. And if we want, we could have a little bit of a play with that as well. So let's go to member password and we will put in there. So what are some of the things that we could do? Um, so we can put in, let's just try the hashes and see what happens there. So this would be more for like a telephone number. So if we were to put 1 2 3 4. Oh, button press, and okay, so under password, so we've got 4 there. So what was that? It would allow me to put in a number, it would allow me to put in a plus, it would allow me to put in a space, but it won't allow me to put in a text field. Okay, I'm trying to sit here, I'm trying to type letters. If you can't hear, you might be able to hear the alert. I'm not 100% sure whether you can or not. Okay, oh, allow me to put in a dash as well, but minus sign. So minus sign. I wonder if it'll let me put in an asterisk. Nope, not an asterisk, or divide, uh, or an exclamation, just a plus or a minus and a number. Okay, so that might be if we were looking at, or a space. Yeah, so they're the things that we can put in there. And what else have we got that might be useful? So an A has to enter a letter or a digit. So if we were to change that to, oh, it's gone off password. So if we were to put some A's in there, go to that. So it was letters and numbers. But what I can't put in there, it won't allow me to put anything like a quote or a space. It has to be letters and numbers. Yeah. We could do, let's say we want someone to create a specific code. So we want someone to put in numbers and we want someone to put in letters. So L's and zeros. So we might want them to put in 2 letters and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Okay, so say we've got a specific, I don't know, ID code that we want. So we might say AW and then we can only put numbers in there. So that would then allow us to have that input mask. You know, I can't put in here, I can't put numbers in here, I can't put special characters, I can only put letters in there. Okay, so yeah, AA 5, 6, 7, 8, and then in the numbers bit, it won't allow me to put any numbers either. So there you go. There's a few things we can do with input masks. Okay, so you can have a play with those and see what you come up with. Yeah, there's a few other things there. So you've got things like forcing things to uppercase and lowercase and that sort of stuff. And yeah, so have a play there. And I'll say I'll put this onto Moodle as well. So you've got the help sheet for input masks. Okay, so really that's everything that we need to know with on validation. Hopefully you need to practice this because you will be asked to do some sort of validation on your exam. Okay, so as we go through, we will start to practice this, especially when we get to looking at formal exams. We'll definitely be doing this. Okay, so I'll see you in another video. Bye.